Mikee P back on the In the Money Players podcast, and look who the guest is. PTF in the house. And PTF, we're doing some Sunday racing because Twinspires, they kind of have a little adjusted contest schedule this week with the Haskell on Saturday. You can get in on the Haskell contest, but they have their own contest on Sunday, Saratoga. So we thought maybe we'd mess around there.
Absolutely. It's been so fun working with our friends over at Twinspires, twinspires.com/tournaments, of course, the place to go to see the full schedule. Just lots of opportunities for contest players. And there's a lot of people from our In the Money universe who get involved over there as Mikey shares the screen of the current events as of today. Really great way to play. I mean, we talk about this all the time in a day and age where these pari-mutuel markets have never been harder to navigate in a lot of ways. Hey, we still try, we still swing, we still bet. But I think the best opportunities these days come from contests, and on Twinspires, lots of opportunities to get involved in some of the game's biggest events, whether it's the NHC, the BCBC, or I'm sure some people are already thinking about next year's Kentucky Derby betting challenge, the latest major brought to you by our friends over there. But very happy to come on today and talk about some of these races from Saratoga on Sunday that are going to be not the entirety, but I would say the focus of a lot of these Twinspires contests.
Yeah, and you look, and there's different price points, Pete, and we talk about this all the time, but you have different feeders into the bigger contests. Some people don't want to put up $3,500 to get into a contest. Well, you can qualify for very small amounts of money. I mean, they have $80 feeders into some of these contests, $140 feeders. I mean, those are price points that everybody can jump into. Now, Sunday, the contest is a $600 summer betting challenge feeder there that happens on Travers Day. But I mean, there are plenty of qualifiers leading into these bigger contests, Pete. And for me, that's one way that I'd love to get into these bigger contests is I'll feed in, get into these $600 qualifiers to qualify into the $3,500 contest or, your BCBCs, your NHCs. So I think it's the accessibility. It's the fact that you can play different racetracks. I mean, there's just so many positives, and this is the why Twinspires has really taken off.
I think that's very well put. There's several advantages to feeding into these bigger events, one of which is just the action and the ability to be able to have this focus and way to center your play during the week. And then the other is the more obvious one. If you can get into these bigger contests for short money, probably have a better opportunity to play a little bit more optimally, be a little bit more aggressive because you only got in at a lower price point, not the bigger price point of these games. So lots of ways to win on twinspires.com, and I'm excited to be talking about these games throughout the summer and beyond.
Yeah, and speaking of summer in full swing. We got Del Mar on Friday opening, so you have Saratoga proper, you have Del Mar now, and of course, In the Money Plus is ramping up. You have Nick's Notebook for Saratoga. We have Adam DeCepolo doing work for us for Del Mar this year, doing lots of full card write-ups and analysis for that. So, In the Money Plus is always the place to be. I was a customer before I was even involved with In the Money. So that says a lot, I think.
You were one of the OGs. Yeah, you were there from pretty close to the beginning, and I'm really proud of the work that Nick does, and Adam, who's done such fantastic work for us on the trip side, also doing some of the handicapping of the contest for ITM Horse Player Tour. That's something, if we're doing a little state of In the Money, we should talk about the ITM Horse Player Tour very quickly, but really looking forward to see what Adam comes up with, handicapping Del Mar daily on the plus side. Check it out, inthemoneypodcast.com/plus. And then, of course, we have our Inner Circle tier. We do our bet share. That's not open at the moment, the bet share part, but it will be soon. Become an In the Money Plus member, and you'll see exactly how to upgrade and get involved. inthemoneypodcast.com/plus. And as for the ITM Horse Player Tour, just quickly, probably most people know, so I'll do it very fast. This is an interconnected series of contests on horseplayers.com going all summer long, actually all the way through the Breeders' Cup. And the great thing about this tour, you can jump in at any time. You're at no disadvantage. The games are regular feeders into the Horse Players Breeders' Cup Betting Challenge qualifiers on Saturday. But any week you play, if you finish in the top 4, you qualify for our playoffs. That's a separate tournament with another $10,000 BCBC seat available at no added cost. I'm going through this quickly. If you're new and curious and not catching all of this, reach out to me personally, honestly. I'll talk to you. I'll slow it down and talk to you about all the benefits, because there are many of them, including the charitable donation that goes to Breeders' Cup charities. go to inthemoneypodcast.com, hit that contact button. That goes right to my personal email. Happy to help you along on your contest journey. But you can bet your bottom dollar I'm going to be pointing you to our games, and I'm going to be pointing you to Twinspires.com, because that's where many of the best opportunities lie.
Yeah, and I'm involved every week with those contests. And how about Matt Bernier last week giving out $50+ horse there on the shows you guys are doing? So that's must see before you jump into those contests.
Yeah, he's been great. I mean, it just tickles me. You know, Matt started when it was the DRF Players podcast in 2014. It was Matt and it was me, and at that point, most of the content of the shows was jokes about how young Matt was. But we gave out some winners then, and he was bringing the heat. We had some good ones, couple exacta finishes with our horses too. But it's just so great to have Matt back in the fold, and you can expect to see him throughout the rest of the year, and again, hopefully beyond. I mean, I just love working with the guy.
Yeah, he keeps giving out those winners. He's going to never shave that Tom Selleck mustache he's got rolling right now. But anyway, let's do a little handicapping. Saratoga for Sunday. We're going to look at the last 5, Pete, because if you're involved in the contest, you better be involved in those last 5 races. That's a tough card. Lots of tough, wide open races for Sunday. Race number 6 at 4 Eastern time. It would start that late pick 5, and no morning lines yet. And but we have 2-year-olds to kick us off in race number 6. They're going 5.5. They got some first timers here, Pete. Yeah, some second time starters. It looks a tricky race. How are we going to kick it off?
It's so tricky, and so many of these horses I was really struggling to find a way in. But there was one that had several angles that I'm interested in, that I'm going to center my little spiel on. We know that Chris Engelhardt isn't exactly Jeremiah Engelhardt when it comes to first-time starters, but his horse in here, number 1, Ed Charles, does have a lot of appeal for me beyond just being a New York Mets hunch play. For one thing, this horse cost $60,000 at the 2-year-old sale off of Sire's $2K stud fee. So that means a lot to me. I mean, that's a sale that happened just a few months ago. So and what it suggests is a horse that's going to have gate speed, have to go fast at the sale to get that kind of a result. This is just the 3rd horse as of this recording to make it to the races for New Sire. Keep me in mind. One of the other 2 did win. That's encouraging. And then the other thing about this is 4 siblings have made it to the races with a winner and 2 seconds. There's just enough stuff here that I'm comfortable for contest purposes, and maybe in picks too, really centering my action around the 1-runner, Ed Charles. Because beyond that, for me, Mikey, I thought the field was much of a muchness. Were you able to separate them at all?
I'm curious on what your take is on the 6 Brahms Run is, because it's Cassie. They started in one of those Royal Palm Juvenile Stakes down in Gulfstream back in May. I mean, those are qualifiers for those Royal Ascot races. So usually, these guys are coming to play in those spots at Gulfstream. This horse didn't disgrace. I was bet in there, ended up 3rd, and then no Ascot obviously, but it comes back in this spot, fresh gelding. It's Cassie's second time out. I just thought maybe with the experience and the fact that they had such a high opinion of this one, that would be one that I would be definitely intrigued by here.
Yeah, I'd want to have on horizontal tickets for sure. I didn't land on, because I just had more things that felt unique to me, I guess you could say, on the 1-runner. But this horse was bet in that spot. Some of that might have just been who the trainer is. Like you said, ran with credit. It was a slow race. Now we move on to the dirt, but based on the dam side pedigree, the dirt shouldn't be a problem. Brahms Run is another one. For horizontals, I would want on side. For the contest, I'd probably be willing to just double barrel with Ed Charles, but I definitely am picking up what you're laying down there.
Yeah, and another one in there that I thought real quick was the 4 George Street. Now, obviously, it's Irad, it's Brad Cox, and Brad he's been firing more second time than first time out recently, but the good ones always kind of find a way. There's some workouts on the Kentucky website for this one. Now, it was a while ago, back in May, but I didn't mind the video on this one. Irad sees fit to ride. He's 20% with Brad the last couple of years at Saratoga, so obviously, when you get those top connections, I mean, you have to pay attention.
Super obvious runner. My fear with that one was just going to be bet almost regardless. I do feel like that extra work you did actually looking at the tape and liking it in terms of the workouts probably makes that one an include. But my knee jerk was, okay, this one's super obvious, but probably just going to catch money because of the connections. But clearly one. If we were playing a group ticket, I would use. Let's put it that way.
Race 7 to the grass, Mountain 3/8 now, Pete. It's It's a 2X here, and I was interested in the Shug Runner from the rail, Symbology. This one, double bar layoff on June the 12th, came back and I thought raced okay. Peak Hype dominated that race and was able to control it. This one, I think, needed that race. I mean, it's a 5-year-old mare now, but those back lines back at Gulfstream going a mile and a half, I do think that she likes the distance. And this is where she belongs. I like the fact that you have the prep now. And, Shug, he has limited runners these days, but I do think that he always shows up for Saratoga. So I like the way this one's drawn. I like the spot here. It's a definite use for me, which I do think could be a little bit of a price. And then I thought Don't Jinx It was another one that you could play. They came back in the Eatontown against maybe another, against Whiskey Decision. All far superior horses. This one, I do think wants the extra distance also. If you look at that mile and 3/8 line back in November, this one's speedy, has a win over the racetrack. Just too much to like for me not to use. So those were my 2 in the 7th.
Those are 2 of my 3. I put Don't Jinx It on top in that Eatontown. I thought she just got caught chasing in a slow-paced affair. Going to be prominent once again. You made the other 2 key points for me. License to improve, second off the layoff, and distance that should not be an issue based on the past race and just blood. The one that you did not mention that I'll give a little shout to is the 7 Vronti. Just looked obvious to me, getting back in at her condition and going long after finding those grade 1 waters too deep. I suppose a chance to be overbet in a race where a runner like Sylvology might be a price, and that's the other one I wanted to mention. I think you said it also. The last run probably just needed it. That was off a very long layoff. And I really loved specifically the run 2 back for Sylvology when closing well into slow fractions with trouble and still getting a 91 buyer. There's probably more under the hood there. I was going to mess around 6, 7, and 1 in various combinations for contests. If I was only playing 2 entries, I might just play 6 and 1. But for horizontals, especially, I'm going to have some 7s on my ticket as well.
Race 8 to the Wilson Chute now, Pete, and it's a 1X. This is another race where I think contention runs deep. I'm going to try Playa Del Mar. I think that one, its last 2 are very, very good since Linda claimed this one. And you had the 2-life win, and then you had the starter, a protected type win. This one I do think is in the right spot, and there's just others that I don't like. I don't trust Iron Dome in this race. I know that this one has some back lines, and some good races over this racetrack. It's 3 for 4, but I just didn't like the Oaklawn race. I don't like the limited starts recently. I mean, this one can obviously win, but just not for me. And then Thrill is another horse at a price I think you can use. And this one is game. Really likes to fight for it. Now, the numbers maybe not stack up with some of the other ones, but I mean, it's Dale Romans off the bench. This horse has raced well off the bench before. Needs to get faster, but will be a price.
I like your analysis. I like Iron Dome a little more than you, but I too had Playa Del Mar on top. I just think you can get the right kind of stalking trip. We know speed typically plays very well in these spots. I did include Iron Dome in my picks, just loving it around Saratoga. And I was also envisioning a good trip, maybe more of a mid-pack closing type move as I see how this race might unfold in my head. And I certainly respect your other idea as well. Not one of my strongest opinions in this sequence, but for contest purposes, this if you're getting involved here, I think we've centered around the right ones.
Race 9, grade 3, quick call stakes. It's straight 3s here, Pete. They're going 5.5. And you have Sci-Fair entered here. Now, she's entered also on Saturday, and I do think an easier spot that she's going to be favored either way. I'm curious to see where they show up with her. But beyond her, I mean, contention is, I do think, very deep again. Who'd you like?
Let's say if Sci-Fair goes here, I like Sci-Fair. I mean, I take your point about the other race, which I haven't fully handicapped, but I did look at quickly. Could be just as easy, if not easier. But I mean, she just looks like the fastest horse to me. I love that Mamzelle closing into a race flow that racingflow.com said favored on the front horses, and Timeform US also had a blue sectional in there. And they were going to go to Ascot with her. They had the minor setback, rerouting to Saratoga, just too many arrows in this direction. Now, what do we do if it turns out that she goes in the other spot? I don't know. It's very tricky, but a runner like Throckmorton might make sense. in that instance. I guess I might be slightly against a runner with good numbers and form like Stradale, just with the questions about the turf, even though on the dam side could work out. But I mean, Sci-Fair is my focus if she goes, and I'm going to have to take another long look if they decide to go elsewhere. But if I needed to pick a second number, I'd probably go with the 3. But how do you see it in either? Or would you be nailed on with Sci-Fair if she appears here, or are you going to get cute regardless?
If she's in, I do like her. I think she's just too fast, too classy, and she gets a setup again, too. There's so much speed in this race. If she doesn't go, which, I mean, looking at the 2 races, I'm not, obviously not involved with the connections, but I do think the race on Saturday, she's, more likely to win that race. It just seems like an easier spot to me. It has to face the boys in this spot here. And I thought Throckmorton, he would be the other one for me. You mentioned that one. I like this one's races. And, if you look at that Keeneland race on April 19th, that was a wicked pace. He was pretty close to it, and he held on late where the rest of the horses were flying from behind. So I do think that this one fits. Had to face Outfielder there at Churchill on May 9th, and that's a really nice Wesley Ward horse. So I think that one plays pretty well. I think Monster, he is the quickest. I will tell you right now, he's going to be in front early. It's just a problem of hanging together, but he is a rocket ship from the gate. Well, this might be the kind of race where he's the speed of the speed, and speed's been very good over the Saratoga course so far. Now, they are expecting a little bit of rain, so we'll see what happens there, but he's raced on soft courses in the past. They have to try to catch him. There's plenty of other speed in the race, though, so it's just a very intriguing race. I probably have to watch the board. We'll see who stays, depending on the turf condition. This might be a race and contest that I probably don't want to get anywhere near.
I hear that. I mean, if Sci-Fair is in and you were looking at messing around in doubles, it's a great thing. And I was talking about contests before through the lens of, the mythical format. And the great thing about Twinspires, you don't have to deal with that. You can pick and choose where you're going to play. I think it would be an interesting sign of confidence if they leave Sci-Fair in. In that instance, if I were going to do anything contest-wise, it would probably just be trying to catch a double on the end. There is a price I like in the last race.
Well, let's go to the last race then, and it's race 10 to finish up contest, to finish up sequences, 2 life on the grass. Malin is 16th here. It's on the inner Pete. So I get to ask you now, we're going to get paid.
Hopefully I'm right with this story, and you're good at telling me when you think I'm being delusional, so you can tell me what you think. Not that this horse is going to be some huge price, but the form is really ugly for number 1, Twirly. But I can just go through and cite you excuses for every line since the win. Basically, long layoff last time, wrong surface. I'm not worried about that, and it just seemed like 3 starts in a row prior to that. I don't know if it was her being keen or Alvarado moving too early, but those were all fast-paced races where I feel like she got going just a little bit too quick, moved into the fast parts of those races, and flattened out. Now, what I like here is Lescano stays. He's gotten to know her a little bit, and what I really like is I think the pace is going to be fast here. Lescano from the inside, I think if he just holds on to her as long as he can, I only think she has a short run, but if he can hold on to her as long as he can, move up on the inside, and then maybe tip out and attack late, and just with the small move that she has, I just think it could set up beautifully for her. Again, we're doing this without morning lines. I don't know what kind of a price she's going to be, but I'm hoping off some of this ugly form, we're going to get, something bettable on Twirly. How do you see it?
Oh, you're definitely going to get a price there. I mean, it's now this one. You mentioned maybe wrong surface, but this one actually broke the maiden over the dirt, over the mud, and doesn't have a turf win. It's drawn well. It has always taken money. If you look, she's 3-1, 6-1, 6-1. She always takes money. So it's interesting, though, that the main man, Junior, is elsewhere in this spot. So I don't mind at a price, and I do think you're going to actually get a price on that one for this race. And this race I feel like is a little bit impossible. It's really tough to latch onto anything. The form just isn't there. I looked at Artistic Success, but I think that one will take money in here for Joe Sharp. It's IRAD showing up here, was 3-1 last time, and close up good enough. I do think probably should take a step forward off the layoff, was laid up since November into June, and now back on the regular rotation. So I do think that one plays well, and again, win over the course, and that is important for me. I like horses that excel over different turf courses. Horses at Keeneland tend to race very well over the Keeneland grass, and same thing up here at Saratoga. There are horses that just love it up here, and this one is speedy. likes the inner. I just think is the one to beat in this race. And the only other horse that I saw was the 2 Rogue. Now, this one has some talent. It's a 6-year-old mare. Now, she's 1 for 13 lifetime as a 6-year-old mare. Raced better last time, was on top of the pace. It was in a claiming race where, she had to waiver. So they took a shot with her. She's just okay, and has possibilities. She's going to be a huge price in this race, I do think. So just, to play in a race that is difficult, that really nobody stands out, we got to try prices. Pete's on the 1. I'm on the 2 to finish up at Saratoga on Sunday. Well, Pete, I mean, it's a tricky card. You have the big contest. Who knows what sort of carryovers? The weather is in question. So lots to take in for Sunday.
No doubt. We'll be covering up to the minute with some of our stuff on In the Money. Nick's notebook will be taking some more information into account than what we have right now, Thursday a.m. I've been doing something people might want to check out if they haven't seen. I've been doing, not every day, but most days, these blog posts over at inthemoneypodcast.com, where I also pull in some real-time information, linking to interesting articles and tweets about what's going on, calling it the ITM Telegraph. You can check that out Sunday morning as well for a little bit more real-time info. And if there's big changes and I have something clever or different, I will definitely be chiming in on there as well. But yeah, really fun getting to sit in the guest chair here, Mikey.
Yeah, this was great, and always good to hang out with you, talk with you. You and I are typically on Inner Circle shows on Saturday, and we get so much good info there. So if you're in the Money Plus and you want to upgrade to the Inner Circle, you can jump in on that. If you're not a Plus subscriber, you get so much information there. You get grid picks, you get lots of great articles, handicapping. I mean, it's a tremendous value. So if you're not a Plus subscriber, get in on that. Get in on Twinspires Contests. Pete, it's summer racing full swing. No better time to be a horse player.
Can't wait to keep it going. And my next leg, I'm out here in Santa Cruz, going to do, another week or 10 days out here in California, betting all this stuff on my Twinspires app on the phone. But when I get back at the end of the month, I'm going to visit my mom for a few days and then head up to Saratoga and be there for the duration. So hopefully we'll have an opportunity to meet up with some of our viewers and listeners. Encourage you to drop some thoughts in the comment. Give us your best bet on this Saratoga Sunday card. And if you're coming up to Saratoga in August, make sure you reach out to us, and hopefully we get a chance to have some sort of libation. Hopefully we'll see you up there, Mikey. Any chance, or are you looking booked for August at this point?
Yeah, I mean, I think I might end up at the King's Plate, so we're gonna try to do that. That might, kind of be my trip for this year. But you never know. Maybe I'll end up at the Breeders' Cup in the fall. I'm always, willing to get in the car and go. So we'll see what happens with Saratoga. Would never miss an opportunity if I had a chance to get up there. So we'll see what happens.
Open invitation, my friend.
Always appreciate it. Well, that's been a production of In the Money Media. Jump in on Twinspires Contest and get in on Saratoga Sunday. We'll see y'all next time. May you win all your photos.